Now, Peter also comes back to prove, say, indeed, not Jude Sika from, and that's what part 7 of Peter Nesem is all about. But my interest is in part 8 and perhaps part 9. Because in part 8, Jude trigger a response from Peter in part 8. Now, so Becca Mekacho say, this thing started about 2 years ago. 2 years ago, Samreno. Jude and a babonte after say EFCC for clear no a babonte Becca said. So we were evidence of ono Jude no all disrespecting law line nipa no fambra bonte obema nipa no 1 million naira obi were evidence nipa no fambra obema 1 million.
I was talking about his wife on social media. Please, I want to ask you people, I have 1 million naira to send to anybody that can go on Google and find any time I posted a tweet or Instagram or Facebook or wherever, any defamatory whatever on Peter's wife. Please, the first person to send that in to me on my DM will win 1 million naira.
And so Peter, and this evidence and I recaptured this in our story back in 2024, right? Say, Lola, I wish Peter and Paul happy birthday. Emma ne campus say, oh, wish say, bet find a place in their hearts. No more coming back together. Emma, Jude, echo my response be, so it was that post. And Peter, AUC, yes, say, oh, Jude, what to me record the video be say, but this was your comment and the Lola ne birthday wish. I just saw the by ya Paul ever responded to. This was your comment. But what about now? Say na who did Lola temuda or bechiresim?
Jude, you know you use Paul as a decoy. Yes. You try to manipulate Paul to say some things online so that at the end of the day, you're not setting up Paul for dragging. Now look at what you just said. Meanwhile, look at the innocent post Lola posted to wish I and Paul happy birthday. That's Paul's response. Now look at Jude's comment underneath. There has never been a time Paul have ever had maybe a physical altercation, argument, insult, on Lola. But on Jude's side is opposite way.
Now, Oba Bechiresemuno, and or revisiting an incident happened here, and we received 3 awards at our Sun City.
Back when my girlfriend then Lola was pregnant, I didn't want the news to break me. I decided to break the news because then there was too many baby mama of so celebrity baby mama so celebrity gave birth.
Awards night be ase. And what you say, Sambeno, na Lola and the girlfriend. Now, for those of you who don't know the beautiful history between Lola and Afesu Peter of P Square, no, Emma P Square, no, nobody, no, right? Lola is one of the people and almost supporting P Square, and in fact, P Square, I to say Peter a member of no, Peter is sharing the story at the soap platform, so recounting why of her so edishia Lola and how Lola bois P Square man P Square babe P Square and ne. This is a video.
We are big. We don't even come to Lagos to perform. It was when we now got a manager, how we see the big guy. Yeah. Finally, signed us to his label and started pushing us. Of course, he met a woman who works in an agency. So he gave the woman our CD. The woman's CD got stuck in her car. So for the past few months, anytime the woman is driving, she has any song to play than the P Square song. Wow! And she kept on playing the song, and she loved the song. So whenever they are doing shows, she calls P Square. She calls her. She wants P Square. Well, what do we do? We'll go backstage. You say, that madam is there. We'll go there. Thank you, man. You got woman. We'll thank the woman. After performance, we'll go and meet that. Thank you, man. We were doing that till our manager, after 4 years plus, he got, our relationship went south or so. And then, of course, the manager refused to give us that woman's contact. But somehow, me and my manager have somehow gone there twice. So when around Anthony, so I now call my managers, former managers PA. So they say, no, the woman is Salah Anthony, but doesn't know the. I started looking for it. When we moving together, and I found the woman, and we continue from the woman. But sorry to say, that woman is my wife today. Wow.
Adafana Migusu account say endpoint homeopathic clinic. Say kidney honsem, diabetes honsem, say stroke honsem, prostate issues, fertility issues. I touch endpoint for myself, early detection, a endpoint for Nyankopandum, or more fidi, or more doctor for, a nurse for, or when you say, or no best, or show kama, ama on what visit your master any be. So what am I was Pentex, or Kumase, or Techima, or Sunyano, or Takradu, or northern regions of Ghana, Nibia, endpoint our branches across the country. But what also befa number said that's Queen's no. Now afraid and ask what WhatsApp your apomudi ho sem de mesrel to che endpoints for no more show now ho beto nyame aduminti.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. This is where some things people don't know. So the story between that story of the relationship and the love you have for her goes way back before champagne and holiday. Before the
That's why, my brother, I won't lie to you. I don't care what her people say. I don't care what I'm there for her. I was a nobody when. In fact, we should be grateful that woman did what she did for us. But like I say, you know,
So you can see how dear Lola is to Peter, not just to Peter. But how vital Lola was to the early days of P Square or growth, you know, and even falling out with a manager of 4 years. So there was a manager before Jude. There was a manager before Jude, and there are others who even dispute say, listen, it wasn't Jude who made P Square. This is one of them, right? Where P Square elder brother be a friend of Tony, and Obabe Kai Kasai about family drama. No, now Giant Sammy. Obia or ye Peter bodyguard and a Giant Sammy Kocho. What some of you guys didn't know is that one of the two backup dancers in this video is Tony. It's Giant Sammy reacted to a video of P Square and also say backup dancers no right baku a P Square mo enua penny a friend Tony. And as Sammy Echo Ibium said, that is P Square's immediate elder brother who was part of their dance crew for a while before moving on into arts. The username Ajay Arts, and even him did not take 40% share despite being a dancer in the team. But one Agbaya was busy collecting more than the artist years later and still being ungrateful and wicked. And this Giant Sammy on Peter Nam and one person just said, hey, Jude Besaya no yet to say we will play an important role near there. Backup dancers no. Emu baaku ye Tony. Tony ye P Square mo elder brother. Ono kra no claiming 40% that. Though was some P Square make you roll it, control it. On claiming 40% that. But this is Jude. No onye bibia crucial bia because according to Peter no. Say also was sure directed by. And no just a Jude count. No more direct here. Just credits. Jude in can and new production no. And you know, or no piece, Peter. No, now I hear engineering kakra. Na Paul so I am mixing kakra say kapa di ankapono and I am mixing nekese. Jude Jude in count.
Jude sold his car to bring P Square. Jude did a lot for peace. He produced it. Hey, guys, let's be honest. What produced what? All P Square album were produced by me and Paul. I have to even say Paul. I'll play the keyboard, I'll play the computer, I'll play the Fruity Loops. I use it. Did Jude contribute in P Square? Yes. After we turned P Square, after we were famous. But not as people say it. They say Jude shoots P Square's videos. Because they put directed by. Really? Since P Square broke up, How many videos has Jude and G's shot, directed by? Even when we are at P Square, some of them you see Jude Okoye / Clarence Peters. Check all Cynthia Morgan's videos. You will never see Jude alone. I guarantee you guys. Personally, Alingo, Shekini were shot by me.
Now let's come back. Let's focus on the story, right? So this is Giant Sammy trying to say, Tony Crano play role no. On claiming 40% that. But the Biana Jude at Trinity, 40%, no claim more than. And I Tommy by responding to Giant Samuel Ye Peter, bodyguard, say, this time, Jude never smelled to be P Square manager. Now we be the manager then. Social media has made people to be delusional, but it's all right. It's where Tony Okoye, Satan no cry na Jude in your manager. So indeed, that was the era. Lola share P Square. Jude wasn't their manager, but that was how Lola is supporting P Square si fire. And Peter ain't di Lola who because who say Lola was vital to the early stages and P Square ever be blown near there. But this is the same Lola. Just say I was Sound City Awards na se no. Na only Peter no any Lola date. Into omo win 3 awards. Omo win 3 awards no. Sam na Lola nyem. On person media no be breaking news no. Na baba say Peter of P Square baby mama and again. Into no kasa this idea say obe find a way to break the news. It's awards miensa no. Almost or dedicate ma hoya. Or dedicate ba akoma nyankopon ene ebusia. Or dedicate ba akoma friends and our face of fans no. And or dedicated back also and the mother of your unborn child, which in this case will be Lola. I support you. Maybe good news be saba. No person media and them say good news in no. Or finest style day breaking.
An interview. Next thing I did was they said, well, who are we dedicating the awards? I picked up the first award. I said, this award is for God. I am Almighty. You know, I praise God with that one. Second award, I said, I dedicate this award to the fans and to everyone who has supported us. The last one I say, this one is for the mother of my unborn child and my incoming son.
Paul ni Jude emunu ya omubuefu omonteda adana Peter ayesa omakokoji award no ka kansen bisa.
Next thing, Paul and Jude walked away from the media setting. They picked the car, turned around, and entered the car. We drove. Left the venue towards headed to third main, and Jude pulled over and said, what was that for? I said, what's the problem? Do you know how this thing is going to ruin our career? I said, how ruin our career? I don't want the news to break me. I decided to break the news. The last thing I want to see online is saying, this idiot, this is that. No, once I break the news, it's no more going to be a rumor.
Now, it's important to note here, say, according to Peter of P Square, right? Emma Lola enyem ana Lola eko awoso. Why not doing say obetu kwaya ko baby Lola elwo no. Though na Paul ni Jude aye omo try all means. One of the means ko omo try say omo Lola enwo anaso no Peter no enje akwala no say, right? Omo create an email. Emma not ti hodako and a Paul ban in chair say, Jude ebe send no message, you are send no message ana. No say Jude, my friend before so send me. No say oko email mo, oko ni email mo na Jude are sending the message be say message be aba omo email mo from an anonymous account. Message ni say Lola no onu be ma fofo bi na enyem na opeso de be share onu Peter me call by force.
I heard from Jude. She must come that pikin. That woman must come that pikin. Talking to her. Do you know how old I was that time, Jude? I was almost 27. Nothing that Jude and Paul didn't do for Lola to take that pregnancy out. To a point, they forged an email. Jude and Paul forged an email. I'll try and trace that email. to frame Lola up. I was on my own in my room one day. Paul came to me and said, "You send you message." I checked my phone. He said, no, before phone. For your email. I checked. I read that email for nearly about 20 minutes. An unknown person sent an email to Jude. Jude now forwarded it to me. The things I was seeing there were rubbish. Oh, that my son is not my son. According to them, that the unknown person claimed that my son is not my son. That Lola is using the child to trap me. That I don't want to name some notable names that they mention. Mention about 4 notable names.
So this was one of the strategies of Wisi. But still, I don't know Peter no interested or person Lola will because on the who saying on the way you say Lola no. Into a year now this so betu kwaya ko baby Lola kwako one as we moji Lola one right. Otu kwai yes say what to plane tickets and ya de obeko no na Jude bookie show e wa akwa ibom. Inti Emma Lola no na onu Peter no to me enko baby because Jude a bookie show around the same time about Jude name say Lola akwa was na Jude bookie show.
Jude booked a show in Akwa Ibom. I was backstage in Akwa Ibom. I was supposed to travel 5 days before that show. They told me they booked a show. I said, why? I went for that show. I was backstage thinking after the show I will travel. They called me. Lola has a CS. While she was delaying, waiting for me, they noticed that the baby was losing his breath. They had to slice Lola's stomach and take the baby out. Fast forward. When I was talking to George, that's the family friend, I started telling him the story of what happened in the house. Because after I finished, I told him everything that happened in the house. He felt bad. He said, "Peter, your family are here with me." I said, "Can I talk to them?" He said, "Yeah." I came in the phone, I asked Lola, "How's everything?" She started crying, and I told her, the next first thing I needed to do was to send them money. How am I going to send them money? Because the same money, I'm going to ask for it.
It's what Peter chira Lola wono na oni hono. Sika kura na nko betumi dia send Lola mpono na ye din so benye sika dia send Lola. Now guess what? Lola wewie ema onu Peter no ne Paul ni Jude no omame abom nchen. Omunwa no penifo ne omame nsori asofo ne bia ka ho aba omunchen. Edan onu Peter no ekohu ye okorenti enti waje master's bedroom ti master's bedroom na ye onu Peter ne bedroom. Eno omame aba nti odi ni dia mane mame abeda master's bedroom ho. Ne mame ba ya na ne mame say onu Peter no enfre Lola no ema Lola embra. Enti Peter fre Lola. But okache Lola say emo afa akola neba because ne mama instruction say ema Lola afa akola neba. Inti Peter find an excuse edi ma Lola so ye fumigate fi ho inti akola neba ebe ha akola neba kwa no hwinim ba wo de bra ade chi na Lola ba ya na news a free ebusua no hono mo eba a no Peter ne nya we eni say he Iraba ye ba no ya adwen say ye pesa won ne be na antibio ya na ene ninja
in the living room. I didn't see anybody in the house. I didn't see any of my brothers, the pastors. I didn't I expect to see them in the living room where Lola was. I didn't see any of them. I just said, let me go check. And I opened the door. In that my master bedroom where my mom was, everybody was seated. Even our firstborn, the one that is older than the next person before Jude, that lives in Lagos, was there. Tony, my brother, was there. The pastors were there. Paul and Jude were there. When I came, I said, okay, Lola is around. They said, tell her to come. The way I was walking to go and call Lola, I was uncomfortable. But I didn't say anything. I brought Lola. Enter the room. That was my room. Master bedroom, which there's a bed and there's a couch. Nobody stood up to say, hey, Lola, sit down. Lola just entered. Good morning, ma. Everybody get it. Nobody even cared to say, Lola, come and sit down here or anything. Nobody. I and Lola sat on the floor in my room. I and Lola sat on the floor. Next thing my mom said, young woman, we the Okoye families here have decided you should leave our son alone. I said, Mom, what's going on? Next thing. Now, because 2 days before that moment, me and Lola had a little quarrel, as a couple quarrel. Lola was looking at me thinking, maybe I planned it to exit the relationship. Lola just said, babe, what's going on? I said, Lola, come on. I said, Mom, what's going on? Next thing Jude just said, leave our brother alone. I look at Jude's face. It is like Jude said, it is like carry water from mouth. I'm like, hey, can anybody? Everyone there tried to calm Jude down. Next thing, Jude just stretched his hand. Because in that my room, I have my son's picture when he was 3 months old by the side of the bed. Jude stretched his hand and picked it and looked at it. Guess what came out of Jude's mouth? For those who understand Igbo, as the way you run now, Oyene, bastard. All Lola heard was bastard. Lola just said, did he just call her for the pastor? I said, Lola, I was just trying to calm Lola down. Lola started crying. Guess what happened? They pushed Lola out of the house. Yes. I was trying to hold Lola. By the time I would tell Lola, stay down. Lola, calm down. Lola just opened the door. I opened the door to talk. As I opened the door, I didn't even know that Lola came with our son, with the nanny in the car.
That was the news. There's some breaking here to Lola. Our meeting, I say. It's Peter Cha. He had to take another man of God. Say, man of God, ni bebe mu say, Peter, akwalani oba because our meeting, as you know, Peter Cha, Jude, Efa, Nebano, Ephraim, because that time no more around the picture, now around the picture, one the bedside, honor money idea. Jude fire, Eka sa akwalani a bastard, our Lola. So he had to take a man of God. Say, man of God, Nebeka say, Peter, akwalani ya oba. Obi obeja le viaka sa akwalani nya oba bia na nipa ne boa.
For over 5 months. 5 months after that incident, my mom came back to Lagos. Gathered everybody again. Sent for me, I came. I sat down. You guys would have imagined the trauma that was going on with my brothers. We're still doing shows, doing everything together. We sat down. I sat down with everyone in the room again. Here's what happened that very day. The pastor started with the prayers. Finished the prayers. And I said, Peter, what we're about to tell you, you might be disappointed. But take it that they say God works in wondrous ways. This might be one of them. As the pastor was, talking to you, like, Jude was just hissing. But this time I was now sitting close to the table near the bed. And I said, Peter, stretch your hand, let me have your son's picture. He said, don't worry. I just stretched the same picture that Jude made that statement on. Now look at the picture. Peter, the Spirit of God said we should tell you this. That if anybody insult this boy again, if he's kill that person. This is your blood
akwala ne oba ansa ne ma me beji atom sampa akwala ne ye ne ba eno kra no ni nuanom yi na omo meeting na say apologize here Jude and Paul apologize bisi enne.
She asked me, have they apologized? I said, only the first son, our firstborn, has apologized. She don't worry, they're all gonna apologize. After like a few weeks again, Henry apologized. Except Paul and Jude.
I'm not worry no. Na just omo show e Ghana any ade into flight ho sem e delay ye ne de kaka ho. Oba be do the wedding ase 1 hour 30 minutes into the wedding. When shaving po it is all Peter of P Square. The wedding no ni Lola na. Utumu se na ne 55 me bi. Me ebrenya. Utumu se na de ni na wo ho. When shaving. E na oba wedding no. Some men oba wedding no. Na just se ni nua Jude. Any Wizkid, any Don Jazzy, any D'banj, any Fino, any omomo kaka ho, e wo studio me twa pictures, e dey about to social media so. Enti ni nua na ye wedding no. Onu Peter na pamatade ne ade nyina ade ama ni nua Jude, se ni nua Jude infraba, Jude amba wedding ni bi. Jude go twa pictures. Enkofo na Jude ni omo twa pictures no, omo ba wedding, Jude amba.
And the rest of them. I forget what they captured. I'll put it up. That's it here. Jude posted this picture. Look at the date I got married. A day before our P Square's birthday, 17th. Look at it. Jude posted this. Jude was then trending. I think somebody said something like, you didn't attend your brother's wedding. The next day, I think he responded like, if our mom was alive, this wedding would have held or hold, I don't know. Jude. And despite Jude was with Don Jazzy, Dr. Sid, Wizkid, and Fino and the rest of them, all of them attended that wedding. They still left that studio, attended the wedding. But my own senior brother, manager, refused. I made a shavy for him and everything. Fast forward, few months' time was now Paul's wedding in Port Harcourt. I was there for him. I helped him set up a lot of stuff, connect him with a lot of things in Port Harcourt.
Peter Okoye bisa Jude. Jude say senkom ma metiasia enka wedding no emma so. Na so Peter say bia na Jude refi. Say no ma me yare ye no. Lola fie eno mu enuanom yi na akokotena na Lola ye aduane mom. Omma me no pelola asem. Nemum Jude and Paul and Mum Pelola asem. Aha Gossip 24. We are the Battle of Brothers. Part 10 here. Part 10. Macro.